Hey guys, and welcome back. I hope everyone is doing okay. As you can see in the background, we are currently sitting inside my hotel room now. I am already down south ahead of, Saturday's FA Cup fourth round clash between Fulham and Newcastle. I didn't get a chance to watch Fulham yesterday, but they drew 1-1 to Liverpool and only just missed out and getting to a cup final. So that was the bigger of the two matches for them. Newcastle have been off for a week and a half now. They've just played last night. You would think, despite Fulham being a pretty decent side, you would still back Newcastle to go through. But, of course, especially with our away form, it is easier said than done. But anyway, guys, welcome back. If you enjoy the content, get down there, hit that subscribe button. We are down here for Fulham away and Aston Villa away on Tuesday. So for me, it's not really much point of going back home. So I'm down for both the games. I've got plenty of videos planned for when I get back as well. But we've got a lot of stuff to get into today. Some interesting things I see on social media. And of course, the Newcastle transfer situation. We've got 6 days left until the window closes. There's been a lot of activity surrounding outgoings. Newcastle have stressed to the media that on the FFP, we are unable to make any incoming signings. And we are looking to potentially offload some players to get that extra revenue in. Teams have definitely looked at Newcastle and went, well, actually, this is a team that is needing some money. Let's see what players we can get. Callum Wilson, Kieran Trippier and Miguel Almiron being the three main targets at the minute. Callum Wilson has actually since came out and spoke about his transfer rumours. He's actually spoken to the media about it on his BBC podcast. Miguel Almiron wants to stay at Newcastle United. So the belief on social media was that actually, our Shabab and Newcastle were around about agreeing on a correct fee, but the player has insisted he does not want to leave the club. Always someone that I think is quite a divided player. Like I've said in the past, I'm not the biggest Almiron fan, I'm not. But the problem Newcastle has now is that if we sell him now, let's say we get between 20 to 30 million pounds, which is a decent amount of money. Atlanta United has a sell-on clause, so I believe it's around 15 to 20%. So let's say we saw Almiron for 25 million, straight away 4 to 5 million is going straight to Atlanta. So it's not actually as much money as you think. And secondly, we've got 6 days to then sign a right-sided player. Murphy's still injured, Miggy's gone. So what we're going to do at that point, probably put Gordon on the right. And normally put Joe Linton on the left, but he's out for the rest of the season. So then you probably got to put Harvey Barnes on the left when he gets back, which we still don't know, is it going to be this week, next week, or month or so? We don't even know yet. It's still a tricky scenario where Newcastle, yes, we can get some money in for a guy that, I mean, Miggy's decent. I think we can get some half-decent value for him, but ultimately, I think if Newcastle are looking to win silverware, looking to get consistent, regular European football, I think we need to upgrade in his area. Not necessarily sell him, but I definitely think we need to get someone in that's either going to give him good competition or is going to start outright ahead of him. But yeah, I've got quite a bit to get into, so enough of me talk about Miggy. Let's actually get into the main topics of this video. Let's get through Callum Wilson first now before we talk about everything regarding Premier League clubs today, because quite a lot of information came out regarding him and the possibility of Callum Wilson actually jumping to go to a different Premier League club. Let's get through what he's actually said first yesterday on the BBC podcast. So he was questioned about the January transfer window and anything regarding himself. Wilson has came out and said, well, it's January, the window is now open and there's a lot of speculation going around. Not just about me, but also about my teammates. I haven't got much more to say than that. Oh, he has kept his cards close to his chest there. Now, normally, I don't want to try and speculate much myself, but normally if a player got no transfer activity whatsoever, there's nothing going on, the player will probably just come out and go, well, I'm staying, that's it. But the fact that he hasn't even said that is, I don't know, maybe I'm making anthills out of nothing, but in all honesty, he hasn't given anything away there, and I think especially the fact that he hasn't mentioned anything regarding himself staying is more than likely to suggest that rumours about potential transfers, obviously we had the likes of AC Milan, Atletico Madrid, the chances are they were real, and there are honest requests from clubs coming in for a guy like Wilson. Now he's a tricky one. I think it's a hard one to talk about because in reality you're bringing in £20 million or so for a guy that's in his 30s, someone has an exceptional goal scoring record on his day. He's up there with the best in the league if you can consistently play throughout 38 games. But that's the issue there. He can't play 38 games. He's never been able to do that. We got a bit lucky last season. He managed to play so many, but in reality, he's an injury-prone player. He will pick up consistent or long-term injuries where it's going to have an effect on your squad if you don't have the cover available. So in Newcastle's point of view, can we cash in on a guy now in his 30s where in reality he hasn't probably got a couple more good years left in him? Can we cash in him now, get some good money for him, actually spend it on a younger striker with the hope of getting better? Of course, Isak here in £60 million, up there with the world's best strikers, if we're going to be honest. Ability's next to none. He's so good on the ball, and Premier League clubs all over the park have actually been interested in Wilson today. So it's been reported the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal, West Ham. I mean, big London clubs are all sniffing around that Wilson price tag. £18 million has been quoted by the media. Now, for me, Newcastle's position, we've only got Isak left. We've got to quote more than that. Despite the fact it's an older striker, I still feel like over £20 million we've got to get for him if we're going to sell him now. We can't afford to lose such a big player and not replace him, because Newcastle now in this window probably can't replace Wilson with a good striker. And I always feel like as well, strikers are quite hard to replace. You got to think about it, £20 million, let's say we get for him. Who can we actually replace Callum Wilson with for £20 million that would do either an equal job or better job than him? It is a hard ask because there's no one statistically in the Premier League that is young enough where you get that kind of stats that you're going to go for £20 million. You're obviously going to go for more. Wilson's already that low because of the fact he's injury prone and he's in his 30s. So it's a tough one for Newcastle. If I was Newcastle's position now, there has to be an option ready straight away to bring in. If you don't bring anyone in and then we sell Wilson, I think we're screwed. So I think we've got to keep a hold of him now. But the fact that there's a lot of English clubs interested in him, again, it's not just selling him abroad to the likes of AC Milan, it's actually selling him to a competitive rival. You sell him to Chelsea, that's a team that's going to kick us in the backside. West Ham and our team, that's above us, going to kick us in the backside. Arsenal are going to help them out. For us, we kind of can't help other Premier League teams out as well, especially not in the position we want to be going in future seasons. So for me, in this position now, despite all the transfer rumours there, a lot of information coming out of God Premier League clubs, I think Newcastle, just like we've done with Kieran Trippier, should stand our ground and say no. I personally hope Newcastle United never ever does something like this. It's been posted all over social media, and that's actually Chelsea's new installation at Stamford Bridge to earn extra revenue in their sponsorship deal or partnership with Hilton Hotels. I've never seen anything like it before. So in the corner at Stamford Bridge, I've actually seen this when I was down there for the Carabao Cup last month. So in the corner is just a bed. It's literally just a bed like this one, where I'm going to assume it's either going to be some sort of hospitality package where you spend thousands of pounds, or it's just going to be an opportunity for them to promote someone without them. But you can actually sit down and lie in a bed while watching a game of football inside the stadium. It is absolutely mental. Now I'm hoping Newcastle never does something like this, because I think it's hilarious, but also in a bad way, because I think everyone would take the mick out of us. I mean, imagine we're playing Liverpool at home, for example. Listen, if I was in that bed, I'd be lying straight under the covers. I wouldn't be watching the bloody thing against Liverpool. We always lose to them. So I could imagine a lot of people are going to take the mick and go, oh, Newcastle, or fans aren't going to watch the game, well, fans are going to be doing this. It'd just be loads of crap on social media. But I just couldn't believe my eyes. Like, why is there a king-size bed in the Stamford Bridge? I think it's funny, but in all honesty, Newcastle is a team now where we are looking for several partnership deals. I think the likes of Hilton, if they knock on the door and go, hello Newcastle, we would like to do some form of collaboration, we would love to do a deal with you. Newcastle is a team now that's going to say yes. So if that's the sort of thing we're going to get, I can't defend it. I think it's a bit too much, but we'll see what happens anyway. But Newcastle probably is at that stage now where if we got offered a legit good amount of money on the FFP to do something like that, we probably would say yes. I'm trying to at least get the word out there that I think we should at least think about the bigger picture and how our image would look, I guess. But I thought we'll quickly address that in the video, because it's so strange, isn't it? I don't know what to say about it. Yeah, that's about it, guys. I wish I could tell you about incoming signs, about potential players you could bring in, but there's nothing, literally nothing. It's unless Newcastle sells a player and then we can get to a stage where maybe something happens on the flip side. But it looks like Miguel one's going to stay despite our ship are properly going in for the player. It looked positive, but on the player side of thing, we can't force the player out. If the player goes, well, actually, I want to stay, then Newcastle haven't got too much to work with. Trippier looks like he's going to stay as well, which is a big one. You're not just losing a good right back, you're also losing that locker room leader, the guy in the dressing room that you absolutely need. Wilson's the most likely one that could leave. I think his comments are definitely somewhere he's not giving much away, and it's a bit, it makes you think a bit, actually, is it more than what meets the eye? And again, with big Premier League clubs out there, it may be an opportunity now at Wilson at his age. He's been at Newcastle for a good amount of time, he's got a lot of goals for us, but maybe in his eyes, well, you know what, I want a fresh change of pace, I want to try and do something else. I've got a couple of big years left in my career, let's try something else. So it's going to be a big moment in Callum's career, this window in the summer, where he might actually think himself, well, I've got one last move in me, what should I do? So we'll see how things transpire. But put in my final video for the Fulham game on Saturday, so hopefully we get a big result against them in the FA Cup. I feel like we need to, in all honesty. A draw, I wouldn't want to get, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. You go back to St James's Park and play the match again. You don't want to play additional games, but at least it's just one more in a game where you probably should be winning at home. But to see what happens, I'm confident somewhat. I think the fact that we just played Liverpool last night, they're a bit deflated. I think Newcastle, if we turn up, we can take advantage of them. But big if we can turn up. We still got a lot of players out, so it's up to the lads we still have to kick-start it. But 2 weeks off, we've got to do well. If we don't do well, I'd be quite disappointed. But Villa away the Tuesday, I'm bricking that one. I'm not looking forward to that one. But Fulham, I get that one out of the way first. Hopefully a big, exciting result. But take care, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below on this video. And I'll see you all in the next one.